Hello everyone, it's so good to be back at my base in the UK where I love to have my coffee exactly the way I like it. Last week I was at the Kansas Leadership Center in Wichita, Kansas for a 3-day event to sharpen my leadership edge and to charge up my batteries like we usually say. It was so good to be able to join this cohort for the When Everyone Leads Facilitators certification program. And we focused on the book, When Everyone Leads, the toughest challenges get seen and Soft, written by Ed O'Malley and Julia Fabius McBride, some time ago. It was such an energizing and thought-provoking experience. I agree with the leadership concept that everyone can lead. We actually need more people practicing leadership within their spheres of influence, more leadership in the family, in the home, organizations, society, and the nation at large. Actually, research by KLC, the Kansas Leadership Center, actually does show that when more people in an organization are taught to practice or exercise leadership, the organization becomes more flexible, equitable, and open to change. People tend to trust the organization more. Also, employees are more engaged and fulfilled. Employees feel empowered to make things better. I like this one. At the workshop, it was great to be able to explore again the ideas of identifying the gap between our biggest concerns and aspirations, because leadership exists in the gap. It's in the gap that we need to practice leadership. Now, some people get pretty consumed with the concerns, what's going wrong, or, what has happened, and some others become very idealistic and utopian about what ought to be, looking at the future, where we are going to, where we would like to be, painting that picture of the future that's good. But where the work is in the gap. Leadership in the gap recognizes that focus must be placed where we should be. And that is the work of leadership right in the gap. That's where we get our hands dirty. That is where the messy stuff happens. We also looked at what are some of the barriers to progress we should be making. These barriers sometimes relate to fear, people not wanting to leave their comfort zone, a clash of values, love for quick fixes, too much reliance on authority, our defaults, or our inability to manage self. All right. We also consider the fact that leadership begins with you. So you must learn to authorize yourself to lead. Waiting for authority figures to take action or come to the rescue is tantamount to what we call work avoidance. The opportunity for everyone to lead on an issue does exist. So you have to look to identify the opportunities and take it. We also consider the fact that everyone can lead by asking powerful questions. Yes. You can lead by asking the relevant questions, and it is important to build the capacity of individuals also to ask the relevant and the powerful questions. Also, everyone can learn, all right, to make multiple interpretations to ensure effective interventions. We must avoid the temptation to embrace quick fixes, particularly for adaptive challenges. Also, we consider how do we ensure that we raise the heat sufficiently on the concerns we care about to ensure that we are not caught up in what we call work avoidance. And this last weekend, I was in Houston, Texas, talking about leveling up, in a wonderful group. The gaps are getting pretty wide in our lives. So we need to build leadership capacity to level up and make progress on them. What a practical moment to test some of these ideas that were considered in Kansas. Ideas about closing the gap, making multiple interpretations, and why it seems hard to close the gaps that we have in our relationships, in our finances, and also even in our careers. We also looked at the difference between technical and adaptive challenges in the home. It was highlighted that an important leadership capacity or attitude that authority figures, the dads and the moms, an important capacity that they need to build in the home to keep pace with the fast evolving world their kids live in is curiosity. And it was such an opportune moment as we prepared to commemorate Father's Day this past Sunday. So many gaps exist in the relationship that we have with our children, requiring the knowledge to level up and close them. You may want to check my commemorative episode on fatherhood and leadership. If you haven't, you can find the link in the comment section. A wonderful episode, that I did last week, talking about 5 key capacities that dads need to build in relating with your kids. Now look around you. What's one challenge in your word right now that you need to level up or fill the gap? What's one step that you need to take in the next few days, however small, to close that gap that you have identified? Remember, leadership is a practice. It's not about being in charge. It's about taking action to make progress on the challenge. So let's keep leading together. Wherever you are, whatever your role, you can lead. And I want to thank you for listening. Let's stay connected and look forward to something special coming next week. Subscribe to my podcast if you haven't, where you can expect to get wonderful episodes on adaptive leadership and how also you can practice leadership within your space. Thank you so much. Looking forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.